Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review for the Fantastic Four number 584 and Amazing Spider-Man 646. This is part 3 to the Countdown to Casualty, and this is the final issue for Origin of Species. I'm going to do the Fantastic Four first. Now, there will be some spoilers at the very end. After I go through the review, then I'll show you what more in depth about what the book is about. So that's a warning for much later. Now, in this Fantastic Four issue, this was actually a really, really strong issue. The story was really good, the art was good, and it's really setting the stage for something big to happen. Now, in this issue, you have, if you remember before, Ben Grimm got a dosage of radiation, and he started to mutate. Like his head was growing really big. Well, eventually, everything shrinks back down to normal again over time, and the kids basically give him this serum, and the serum turns him into a human for 1 week a year. And this is the story of Ben Grimm and what he does when he becomes human, where he loses his rock, I should say, during that time period. Now, while that's going on, Sue goes off to Utopia to meet with Prince Namor, because he requested her presence during a diplomatic situation. So you have that storyline, which I have a feeling is going to impact something a little bit later. But the key, well, actually, there's kind of two keys. One is the thing, Ben Grimm story. The other one is what's going to happen to Reed Richards in just a little bit. Now, this part I thought here was really funny. The way Johnny just jerks Ben Grimm around, making him think that something really bad happened. Ben was acting like a little baby, and Johnny's like, "Look, no, don't worry about it. Let's do this. You get this one opportunity. Let's make a couple phone calls, and then we'll have you really do things that you can basically appreciate, while you're a human, because you can't do this any other time." Now, the reason I'm flipping through it this much is because I wanted to illustrate something here. They do things like, basically walking through a crowd and notice. They go to a baseball game, a football game. They do poker. Now, one thing that's really different about this picture than old style Fantastic Four or old style Marvel is there's no cigars anywhere. The old poker parties would have had Nick Fury, Ben Grimm, Wolverine all smoking cigars. So that's a little different. Now, this is the part that is a little Easter egg thing that I'm sure most people will get, but some people might just gloss over it. In this page here, they go to eat with old friends. And if you look closely, you have Ben Grimm, Johnny Storm, and then there's Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So I thought that was a really nice touch that they threw in, because those were the original creators of the Fantastic Four, and it just, I don't know, it was a really nice panel. Well, anyways, as it's going further and further into the story, Ben Grimm gets to do more and more things. There's a nice moment between him and Alicia, and because she sees him as a normal person again. Sue and when Sue lands at the Utopia Island, her and Emma have a look to each other type thing, and the ending to this book is the key part to an oh my god type moment, which I won't spoil that part at the for this part. Overall, this was a really, really strong issue. I think, even though this is in the middle of a storyline, if you're a Fantastic Four fan and haven't been reading this, I think this is a great issue just to pick up, because it was more of a, I don't know, I guess you could say it's a human moment, or a really emotional time for Ben. And I know that there's been times before when Ben's been human, and then for a while then he goes back to being a rock, but this is the first time he really does all these things, and you can tell there's a tearful moment towards the end part of that storyline in the issue. So it's a really, and I don't mean me tearing, I'm talking about the character tearing. But overall, I thought this was like a really strong issue. Definitely, this is a buy. Hickman really did an outstanding job with this, for sure. Now on to Origin of Species. Is it Origin of Species? Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about the art because I already hate it. But in this issue, if you remember, you have the lizard stealing the Osborn baby. You have Dr. Octopus on the trail try to find the baby. Spider-Man's looking for the baby. Eventually they meet in the same location where the lizard's hideout is, and they form a temporary truce, and the battle's going to begin, obviously. Now, I do have some problems with some of the art in this, like this page here. I think part of the problem is I don't think it looks exciting enough, I guess you can say. While there's a lot of movement, a lot of action, I think there's something that's missing. I think part of that something is like right here. It's hard to say. It just, in terms of I guess you could say, yeah, he does look more like a human, like a regular type guy, but I think it lost a little bit of the heroic part in this area here. And I'll show you another example at the end, the last page. The last page really doesn't spoil it because something, it's going to end well type thing, so it's not a spoiler. But I'll show you what I mean. There's actually some really good moments in the ending where you have Dr. Octopus and the lizard, facing off. You learn more about, I guess you can say, I don't want to say the fate of the Osborn baby, but it gives you more of an insight, a clue as to what's going on with the baby. Overall, it's like, if you just take away all the negative parts of Spider-Man that Joe Q's done over time, I think the story isn't too bad. Unfortunately, every time I try to say, the story was pretty good, I kind of enjoyed it, just imagine, like eating black licorice dipped in Tabasco sauce with a hint of cayenne pepper smothered in mud. And that's the taste in my mouth for everything that's happened in the past. And when I say those words, that's what I feel in my mouth as the words are coming out. And it's really difficult at times for me to say, the story isn't too bad. But I'm just hoping that, over time, everything that Joe Q's done will heal, and then I can just enjoy Spider-Man, for Spider-Man's sake. I just want to get to, all I really want is good stories, and then I can just cut and paste and delete everything that was negative over time. The ending actually was overall decent, I thought, especially the way you have the battle at the end. It kind of was like a logical ending, I guess you can say, and I thought that part was kind of good. And like I said, there was a surprise about the baby, which was kind of good. Now, like I said, this is not a surprise page, spoiler. But if you notice here, if you look at Spider-Man again, like right in this whole page, this whole pose, it's just bad. It's just bad. I don't even want to break it down because I think you can just see it. There's just parts of it that just doesn't look right. And I'm really hoping they just get a new art team on the next issue, because this was just that. I think to me that was the letdown of the whole series. I'm not going to buy a trade for this, I'll tell you that much. Anyways, those are my reviews for these two books. If you have any comments or questions, let me know, and rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And after this, like I said, I'll leaf through the book for you. So subscribe to the channel, and from now on, there's spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, then stop the tape. Or video, I should say, sorry. So anyways, you have the Ben Grimm part here. Now, this part's just blah. You've seen this kind of story 1,000 times. He drinks a serum. Like I said, this part was really funny, the interaction between the two characters. The Yancey Street gang appears again, and I thought this was kind of funny when they dressed up as Wall Street guys. And then Ben Grimm and them get into a big fight. Because if you remember, the Yancey Street gang always fought the Thing, constantly. So this was kind of like a nice update. Then we have Susan Storm going to the X-Men, and I love the look between these two women. That was priceless. Namor's doing his "Hey baby, I will wait for you forever" type thing. Now this part I thought was really like a nice ending to the Ben Grimm part of the issue, where Ben Grimm goes up, rings what's her name, Alicia's doorbell. They have a moment, and then he's gonna get lucky tonight. Now this is the part that's really cool. You have Reed Richards looking up into space. Silver Surfer comes. He goes, "We must talk." And Silver Surfer does not look happy. He's like, "I found the Galactus body, blah, 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 blah." And then he's like, "Look, you don't have to explain to me. You explain to my master." And I love the look of Reed Richards because Galactus is there. So here's this. You have Lizard trying to mother the baby. Doc Ock, Spider-Man, Truce. Find the Lizard. Oh, this part they're still battling a little bit. You have the Lizard here, because they're right basically outside the Lizard's compound. Science lab. And Spider-Man does some tests, and he finds that there's no Osborn blood inside the baby. Meaning the Goblin blood. So that's the reason why the Lizard basically let him go, because he's like, this isn't what I want. I wanted that Osborn blood. Doc Ock is not a happy man. Then they battle, and this is the part that was kind of cool, was the fact that Lizard's, trying to manipulate Dr. Octopus with his mind powers now, and they go toe-to-toe because of that. Doc Ock is not a happy camper. So anyways, Spider-Man texts Mary Jane, Malice Lily goes away, Spider-Man goes to Avengers Mansion, they do a blood test on Harry, they talk about the baby, and Spider-Man's innocent, and end the book. So those are the two comics, so let me know what you think, and until